And we're live in a minute. In a minute. Let's just check the volume. We're live. Let's check the volume. Thanks, Bear. All right, cinnamon buns this morning. Bear went to Whole Foods, got us some vegan cinnamon buns. They're good. Can you put the milk in the fridge? All right, breakfast. Hey, Elle, what's up? I hope you're having an amazing day. Hey, Gingy, what's going on? We're just having cinnamon rolls for breakfast. 1 a.m. in Australia?
Dang.
Wait a second. Elle, where are you? Can you remind me? 1 a.m. I think it's... I want to... This is for Susan Oz. Right, so... I'm just not sure what time it is where she is, but I put it in the title. It's 1 a.m. What is the so yeah, so it's in the description box, so we'll do that for Sue. We'll do it. It's gonna be interesting. Oh, it's 11 in San Francisco. Right on. It's 11 here as well. We'll start in a second. Oh, Ginger just had a cold. Oh, Ginger, I hope you're okay. Did you see any good movies? Oh, there's my alarm. There we go. Let's snooze it for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then we'll start up. Hey, Vortex. Oh, and Ginger's feeling better, right on. Oh, fresh cod, right on. Right on. That would be fun. Taking the kids for fishing. Oh, the kids are vegan. They don't eat that stuff. But hey, memes, what's up? I hope you're having a super beautiful day, guys. It's a low energy day. I'll show you. I guess I'll just show you as we cruise along. Check this out. Hey, memes. I hope you're having a super, super, super amazing day. Not a kind of amazing day, a super amazing day. So here's what's going on. Oh, I'll just leave it just like this. You guys must have been feeling. I told the class last night, but maybe I glossed over it. I told the class this last night, but maybe I glossed over it a little bit. You guys, oh, you saw the right. Oh, that sounds good. I like the vegan snacks, the vegan pastries. They're really expensive, but I like them. They seem more like food and less like cake. The vegan stuff tends to be dense. All right. Last night we were watching a movie, but I fell asleep. I went to bed at midnight. So now, what did we watch last night? Oh, so now it's not here, Susan. And Bear's outside. I think we watched The Babysitter Part 2. That was 2 nights ago, and I think I fell asleep during it. I'm not sure what we watched last night, but we were watching a pretty neat movie last night. But I think I fell asleep. All right. So let me just show you guys what's going on. Right now, the moon is not void, right? 11 o'clock, right? It's at 11 o'clock where I am. I think the moon is not void. It's in Libra. So once the moon crosses into the next sign, once the moon, so the moon was void at 28 degrees. The highest number here is 28 degrees. So when the moon was right here at 28 degrees Virgo, oh, that doesn't make sense. When the moon was right here at 28 degrees Virgo, it went void. And so we're all a little blah, 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 blah. But once the moon once it crossed into Libra, it ceases to be void. And we absorb a lot of Libra energies. So balance, fair play, working things out, on the negative side of Libra, being pushy, stabbing people in the back. Both, Oh, Memes has been watching Cheers. That's so cute. One of the movies I have to watch with the kids is Lost Boys. Before I get out of here, I have to watch Lost Boys with the kids. I should be back in Chicago next week. Anyways, let's move on. So, the moon's no longer void. But the moon, although it's not void, it's behind the sun. It's directly behind the sun. So, oh yeah, the kids got to see Lost Boys, man. It's a classic. And so, so with the moon behind the sun, you should feel a bit of an ending happening everywhere. And then tomorrow, when the moon crosses the sun, we're going to have a new moon. And the new moon is going to happen pretty much with the sun conjunct Mars, with the sun with Pluto going direct. You guys should be feeling, now it doesn't touch Pluto, but Pluto's going direct, so you should feel that. And that's what's happening, and it's a real thing. So you guys might, for the most part, you guys should be feeling a little low energy today, a little low energy, a little bit of taking care of things. Depending on where it falls in your chart, you should pay attention to it. Hey, Beast, what's up? And that's what's going on. I'm eating vegan cinnamon buns. They're awesome. All right. Beans. Oh my god. Oh my god, B should change his name to Hell Beans. That's funny. You've never heard of a void moon? It happens every other day. A void moon happens every other day. When the moon is void, you shouldn't start things under a void moon. There's no emotional energy that gets to it. No, I like it. Memes, Hell Beans. Hell Beans. I was going to, we'll be back with this in a sec. I was going to introduce my foot to the kid's ass because he was lollygagging and somehow he fell down. Somehow he kind of jumped into the bush by accident. I don't know what he did. He was standing there and sort of fell into a bush. So and he was lollygagging. So I was going to introduce my foot to his ass. And I was like, hey, Mr. Foot, say hello to this kid's ass. But I didn't. Not because it's someone else's kid. Well, that's one. And two, but I guess 1A, I was afraid with all the stuff, all the junk food that, I was afraid his ass might talk back to my foot. And so I was most afraid of that. Last thing I wanted to do is introduce, but I did show them the back of my hand. I did. I was like, whoa, don't make me get more. It's only going to get bad from here. Anyways, that's what happened. I was going to introduce my foot to his ass, but after we went to the vortex and he started releasing all that negative chi on the top of the mountain. That's really funny. You take a kid up a mountain to enjoy a vortex, and all of that healing energy tried to purge all the negative spirits. There's probably like this giant green fart cloud at the top of the mountain. So, anyways, I was afraid his ass would talk back, so I didn't. So I let it. So I let it slide. So I let it slide. All right, let's get back to the thing. Let's get back to the thing. Oh my god. I'm an awesome babysitter. I'm all about the discipline. I'm all about the discipline. What are you going to do? It's not easy to. The slushy machine is broken at the gas station, so I have to be creative in my incentives. All right, whatever. Are we really sitting here talking about? All right, let's get back to work. All I'm saying is, Sonny's good with the discipline. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No fucking around when Sonny's babysitting. Is that the deal, L? It's life? No, man. I know you think it's. I know it sounds like life, but that was just evil chi was being expelled from his body. Seriously, we were on the top, and I was like, "Hey, can you feel the vortex yet?" And he was really quiet, and then, you know, and then he released a healthy dose or an unhealthy dose of negative chi. And then we sat around and ate more Doritos. All right, but let's get back to it. So the moon was void. So you don't do anything under a void moon because, for the timestamp of the event, there's evil in life. It is evil chi, man. It is evil chi. Oh my God. We were joking about it with his mom last night. Oh, Doritos will definitely do it. But I've been eating a lot of corn chips since I've been here it's pretty good calories, I guess. But the Vortex Day we picked out on Doritos. I might have a reading this afternoon. I'm not sure. We're having trouble scheduling it. But if I don't, then I'll take the kids to the Vortex again. Or maybe not, because it really rained last night. There was a thunderstorm last night, and it's still wet. If it's too wet, I'm not going to take the kids up the thing because the rock is going to be slippery. So I must say, I did find the rock. Just to let you guys know, I'm really slow motion today. Ericka, boy, have I missed you. It's great to see you. Great to see you. I'm just finishing up breakfast here, and then we'll get down to doing that Australia stuff for Sue. There are a lot of people. There's a really popular astrologer that I can't remember if I interviewed her or not a long time ago. She's on the website, but I can't find the interview. But I can't find any of the interviews. So, and although I think I know the computer I did it on, I think it's on my white netbook, but I don't think it has. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so we'll do the. So her name. So Jessica Adams does a lot in Australia and world politics and astrology these days. Oh, 11/11. Let's make our 11/11 wish. Thanks, memes. All right, anybody wish for anything good for their 11/11 wish? I made my wish as well. All right, almost ready to get down to it. So let me explain this as we move on. So the moon's not, I know I've said this a million times, the moon's not void right now. It's in Libra. So some people should have a bit of get up and go. Not everybody. See, the moon is actually behind the sun. Hey, Nadia, what's up, beautiful? I hope you're having a super amazing day. It's great to see you. I'm still in Sedona for until Monday. And then I gotta go back to Chicago for a couple of days to pick my stuff up. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. But it's great to see you. I'm doing the astrology stuff for Australia today. Susan Oz wants me to look out and see what's going on. I might go to New York. I might go to New York. Maybe I'll run the marathon in New York. My cousin lives in New York. I might go, visit her for a little bit. That'll be pretty neat. Everyone will love to see me. I haven't been to New York in a long time. They'd really love to see me there. You guys know her. She comes in every once in a while. My cousin in New York comes in every once in a while. She's more of a Facebook girl. Okay, let's do a little bit of this stuff. All right, I'm filled with vegan junk food. All right, here we go. Let's just do a little bit of a rundown on what's happening in astrology. We'll do a reading for everybody, and then we'll do all of Susan Oz's stuff. That's probably going to take about half an hour, and you guys can help me figure out what's going on in Australia. And maybe at the end of it, we might apply it to the United States. Maybe. All right, let's see what's going on right now. So this is going on right now. Oh, thanks, Ericka. Of course. Of course. One sec. Of course. Let me add him right now so I don't forget. Thanks, Ericka. That's really sweet. I super appreciate the support. Whoops. Whoops. This is... It's, Oh, why don't I just cut and paste this? One sec. Oh, I can't. All right, save that. One sec. Yeah, Ericka. I wonder if he's okay. Is he okay? We'll see. I'll tell you guys some things about the Astro right now. I'll just tell you a little. Okay, you're in the description box. Ericka, I got you in the description box. Let's do this thing. Let's start up. It should be a fun day. I'm really lucky that I got to stay with Lexus, It was really lucky that I got to stay with Lexus. I super appreciate everything that her and the family have done for me. I was able to save a lot of money, and but of course I'm gonna have to spend all that money next week with the lawyer and travel and all that. It seems like a waste of money to go all the way to Chicago, stay in the hostel in Chicago to get my clothes. Seems to be a bit of a drag, but what can you do? Hey, N.S.W, what's up? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, check it out. So the moon's behind the sun. It's in its last phase. So everybody should, whenever the moon is here, right here, we should all be feeling a little bit reclusive. So today should be a fairly low energy day. Hang out in the background and just chill out. Regardless of who you are, it looks like things, right? Things like the moon. It's things are winding down. And tomorrow, we should have a new beginning of sorts. So if you're waiting for answers on something, you're going to get them in the next couple of days. Or you're going to see things beginning to move. Maybe some people will become impatient with the waiting process. See, the moon is definitely going to come into contact with Mars shortly. And so people are going to become impatient. They might become argumentative. Remember, in Vedic astrology, the moon's not your emotions. Excuse me. The moon's actually what you think on the inside. Mercury's what you talk about. It's what you're always talking about. It's what you're communicating about. But the moon is really your subconscious. And that's why Vedics say it's what you think. The moon tends to be what you think. Mercury tends to be what you say. But astrology is the play between the sun, what you see about the person, and where the sun burns a hole in the guy's chart, and the moon, which is everything about the person you don't see. But it's definitely there. And that's what's going on. It's between what you see and what you don't see. And so everybody's going to be pretty chill today. Everyone should be chill today. I don't see a lot of arguing going on in the world today. But I do believe, well, there's going to be a little bit of nonsense. Mars is definitely, making an aspect. Although it's an inconjunct, Mars is still making an aspect, and the Sun, to this retrograde Uranus. And that's going to be a little bit of cuckoo bananas. Now, it's not an opposition, so it's not like a mirror. It's not a square, so it's not going to be painful. But if I were you guys, and I guess I am one of you guys, I would sincerely watch out for any cuckoo banana stuff that people do. You're going to see. So, in the last cycle, in the last moon cycle, most of us have been in a holding pattern. Mercury's retrograde. So, there's a lot of, it's coming back towards what we're looking at. And it's just causing, Mercury's just retro, everything's just retrograde. So, it's just a holding pattern. But as we move forward, starting tomorrow, I would imagine that many of you in the last couple of days have come to some realizations or some, maybe nothing as grandiose as an epiphany, but I think there's a possibility that you've resigned yourselves to the inevitable, whether the inevitable is more fuckery, or whether the inevitable is more covert attacks, or whether the inevitable is someone doing something really nice for you, or you doing something really nice for someone else, or you doing something nice for yourself. Regardless of what it is or whatever story that you're living right now, that's, today's going to be a chill day. You guys are going to come to some realizations about what's happening, whether you realize it or not. And there is going to be sudden and unexpected weird behavior. I don't see it's going to any arguments, really. I just think it's going to be people acting a little bit weird. They're going to be a little bit pushy with the sun getting this close to Mars. But when the moon comes in, tomorrow's going to be a new day. Tomorrow's definitely a new day. Hey, Sue, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, so there's that. Now watch this. In addition to that, and that's the obvious one, everybody on the planet should have felt Pluto slowing down, getting ready to move forward. You should all feel this. I don't know how you do. I mentioned it to the class last night. I was sitting out yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, I was sitting there, and I was telling Alexis, I'm like, you know what? I can feel it. I can feel Pluto slowing down and getting ready to move forward. And you guys should be able to feel that as well. And if you don't, just look at things like Facebook going down. It's pretty obvious. Things like Facebook, Instagram going down, those kind of things are absolutely feeling Pluto slowing down and beginning to take direct motion. So Pluto, now last night in class, Daniela recommended that I look into one of the books. Hey, Tien, what's up? And it was a really cool book. I'm not sure what it's called right now, but it was a book about Pluto. And so, Daniela mentioned, so I started reading it. What the fuck? Daniela, she's in my class. Daniela is obviously really smart. I know the Sunnysiders read a bunch of stuff. So I downloaded the book. And you guys know I belong to that Scribd thing, right? So I get all the books because I'm always reading books and whatever. And so I downloaded it and I started reading about it. And I'll share with you guys very quickly about what I read in the book and with regards to what's happening to Pluto right now. And I didn't read the entire book, but I read the beginning of the book. And so one of the things they say that happens with Pluto. Now, first, I'll tell you what I think of when we talk about Pluto. I think of a painful change that's a necessity. I think of it as a necessity, a painful change that you're going through, that on the other side of the change is probably a better life. Because Pluto's a very strong planet, extremely strong. Pluto's the planet of power. So, so wherever Pluto is happening in your own life, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to redo something. You're gonna have to. It's gonna burn it up, or ice it up, or it's gonna destroy, or Pluto's gonna destroy or restructure something in your life, wherever it is, and you're gonna be forced uh, to invest something, whether it's time or money or emotions, into that situation to resolve it. And it's not going to work in it, but that's the deal. And I'll give you an example. A couple of months ago, when Pluto went retrograde, and went over a certain part of my chart, it caused my Mac, the Mac that I'm using right now, it I had to change. I changed the entire Mac up, and as such, I had to buy back, and I didn't buy back. I saved my money because I had a feeling something, life was going to get crazy. So I saved my money. I'm glad I did now. But so instead of buying a new version of Final Cut Pro and a new version of Logic, which I use both programs every day. Instead of buying them, so I didn't buy them back because everything's retrograde and I was saving my money. But it was a forced Pluto going retrograde and Pluto hovering in parts of my chart is forcing me to upgrade the computer. And when I went back, my computer's like a 2019, it's 2018, 19. And so I was going back, but the new Final Cut Pro is so much more infinitely better in every single possible way that I can see. So, anyways, by the features, than the version I was using, that it's like a major upgrade that Pluto's forcing me to make. So eventually, when I'm through everything, the nodes get past everything, and I go around and I have to upgrade, it's forced to upgrade, but it's a lot better. And I didn't check out Logic, but when I get back to using Logic again, I'm sure it's going to be pretty good as well. And so that's the deal with the, hey Tien, what's up? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So that's what's going on. So Pluto kind of forces you to make those changes. And it really does. It really does force you to make the changes. So what are you going to do? Now, here's what the book said. So this is where you guys are going to have to pull up your own charts. So the book that Daniela asked me to have a look at, and I started reading it last night, was so the Pluto, what they say in the book, at the part that I've read, okay, there's a big book, it's a big ass book, and so, but for what I've read so far is, and it's a psychological approach to astrology. They say that Pluto in your chart, so that's what transiting Pluto does. You guys got that? So transiting Pluto is going to force you to make a change, but the change is going to be for the better, and it is going to be a powerful and painful change. There's no way around it. It's powerful and painful. Now, what the book was saying is, the part of the chart that Pluto is, that your natal Pluto is in, it's a part of your chart that, and here, I'm just going to use the example that they gave, because the example has a fairly logical train of thought to it. So it's much more comprehensive than I'm going to say. I'm just using the example that they gave in the book. They say where Pluto falls in your natal chart is a situation where people may have said that you couldn't do something or you were no good at it. And so if Pluto say Pluto falls in your second house down here, there might be a feeling that, there might be a feeling like you're not going to make any money. It's a second house. You're not going to make any money, or you're not worth the money. Or someone might constantly say to you as you're growing up, you're not going to make any money, you're not worth it, because this is your self-worth right here, your first house, how you look and the money you make and how you communicate to the world, right? This is it right here. And so you might grow up in a situation, if it's in the second house, where people say, you're not going to make any money, you're not going to make any money. And so that plays on you. And there are times in your life when Pluto's activated that you're going to sabotage you're going to sabotage, self-sabotage your second house or your ability to make money. And in response to that, in your response to your self-sabotage is the situation where you're going to say, I didn't need it anyways, or I didn't want it anyways. Hey, Dimitri's in the house. Hey, Dimitri, what's up, playa? I don't have Dimitri's thing on my thing. Here, let me change this to everyone. Did that work? I don't have Dimitri here. No, I don't have anybody here. What the hell? All right, whatever. We'll sort it out. I wonder why that's why I don't see Jeesh. All right, whatever. Okay. So you guys got that? So that's what happens. And that's the self-sabotage that you have to learn to agree with. If, say, Pluto is in your dating life in the 5th house. Now, the book talks a lot about children in the 5th house, because the 5th house is one of the houses of children, but there's more to it than that. If Pluto's in the 5th house, it's your creativity, it's your love life, and it's your children to some extent. So Pluto is here, and there may be a lot of influence in your lifetime saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, with regards to children, or with regards to creativity, or with regards to dating, or having fun. And as they're moving along, what's going to happen is you're going to absorb that, right? Like you absorb everything in your chart. So you might have, so Pluto is there. So wherever Pluto is, you're going to find yourself sabotaging that part of your life. And as you sabotage that part of your life, you're going to have according to the book, you might have the ideas that I don't really care about it anyway, so fuck it, who cares? So if Pluto's in your 5th house, you might not have kids, and you might make up some excuse and say, fuck it, I don't want it anyways. But Pluto's a very powerful planet. So if you overcome some of that negative stuff, just like Saturn, if you overcome some of the negative stuff that's quite obvious, you're going to move forward and you're going to be successful. That's a great way to look at it, Ericka. Since you have no power or control over it. Yeah, with Pluto there's a possibility for no power or control, and it might be, a fait accompli. It might be like, okay, whatever, it's already, I'm not, there's nothing I can do about it, so fuck it. And the other side that the book is saying, you're gonna come up with excuses of why you don't want it. So it's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess up. So yeah, so wherever Pluto is in your chart, just like Saturn, so wherever Saturn is in your chart, you might feel controlled, or you might feel oppressed, or you might feel lonely, or you might feel as if you have to do it on your own. But if you do, it rewards hard work. And so Pluto's a situation where you might feel as if you have no control over the situation. You might feel damned if you do, damned if you don't. And you might just do your own thing in spite of what you know is better. And so that's the deal. So Pluto in the 1st house right here can be very polarizing with your appearance. You might say things to yourself like, well, they're going to hate me anyways, so I'm just going to look any way I want and fuck them. Because Pluto's in the 1st house. You have no control over whether people like the way you look or not, so you're going to do whatever the fuck you want. And it's because you're doing whatever the fuck you want, it totally lacks mindfulness. You're going to ruffle feathers in that area. But again, because it's Pluto, you're kind of taking back control of your life and you're not going to give a shit. And so if Pluto's right here in the 6th house, that's going to happen with your day-to-day life. Something's going to happen with your day-to-day life or your health or your pets where you have no control over. So Pluto in the 6th house, you might feel as if you have no control over your day-to-day life. 6th house is also taking care of other people. So with Pluto in the 6th house, you're like, fuck, I got to do all this shit for all these other motherfuckers and I can't even do my own shit. And so, but that's a pretty good way to describe it. So, like Pluto in the 6th house, you're like, fuck, you're doing everything for others. You have no control over it. You have to do it. And you're like, what the fuck? And so your day gets all fucked up and you're like, fuck it, what can I do? So you might, as a result, you might become over you might just say fuck it to everybody. With Pluto there in the 6th house, you might become somewhat unreliable, or you might go the opposite way with Pluto and become a major control freak. You might become OCD about other people. All right, 6th house is taking care of other people, so you might be OCD about other people. There's a possibility you might not care so much about your own health or your own physical well-being, or maybe you just have like shitty pets. Maybe you don't walk the dog or something like that.
Don't walk the bear.
Yeah, don't walk the bear. I sent him to walk himself this morning. So that's the deal with Pluto in the 6th house. You're like, you can't, like, you're stuck. It's there. Like, just like Ericka said, you have no control or power over the 6th house stuff. You're like, fuck, you got to take care of these other, you got to take care of these people. And they're, you might say, fuck it. There was a question about the 12th house. Ericka is asking about the 12th house. So Pluto in the 12th house, this is your own mental health, right? It's your own mental health. It's your environment. Pluto in the 12th house means obviously you don't have control over the things around you. Or people are trying to control you, or people dying around you. And you're like, fuck it. You have no control over it. Or, just people are doing shit behind the scenes. If you have Pluto in the 12th house, you'll be surrounded by a lot of sneaky motherfuckers. You'll be surrounded by a lot of people who do things behind the scenes. And as such, you're probably going to say, fuck it. Pluto's until you're eventually going to say, fuck it. All these assholes are doing shit behind the scenes. All these assholes doing all this fucking bullshit, all this hidden enemy shit. People controlling, people cheating, people hiding. And so you're going to say, like, fuck it. And you're going to go fuck them up. Or you're going to become like that. So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. Retrograde's a different aspect in a natal chart, Gingy. When you have planets retrograde in a chart, it becomes, like, the energy becomes a little confusing, so to speak. Like, and it's really simple. Like with Mercury retrograde, you'll have communication problems. Venus retrograde, you'll have love problems. Mars retrograde, you'll have energy problems. And so with Pluto retrograde, you'll have power struggles in that area. Maybe you expect people to do certain things and they don't do it. Whenever it's retrograde, it shirks responsibility. So it's going to be a little bullshitty. Pluto in the 3rd is an easy one. Right, you're going to be a shitty driver. You're going to buy shitty cars. You're going to have problems with your brothers and sisters. You're always going to have computer problems. So you're going to say, fuck it, when it comes to computer stuff, communication stuff. People might try and control what you say all the time. So you're going to have to say, fuck it. The 10th house is different, however. The 10th house is very much out in the public. So every time you're out in the public, something bad might happen to you. And you're going to be like, fuck it. So wherever Pluto is in your chart, you lack control. You lack control over the situation. There's people are going to try and control you. It's a situation where you're kind of, it's not that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's just you're going to say, fuck it. And you're going to resign yourself. So either you're going to be a control freak, depending on the transits. Pluto. Control freak, obsessions, right? In relationship, Pluto's control freak and obsessions. Hey, sir. Hey, Beagle. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Pluto in the 3rd house would be tough for writers. But remember, there's also a positive side of all of this. And the positive side is if you harness your Pluto power, just like you harness the Saturn power, you might just say, fuck it, and do whatever you do. Right? So say Pluto in the 3rd house. You might, your editor or people around you are always telling you what to do. Don't say this, don't say that, don't say this, don't say that. And as a result, you might not say anything because you figure whatever you say is going to get you in trouble. And on the other hand, you just might blurt whatever the fuck you want because, like, nobody gives a shit. You feel as if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And so you're just going to have to say fuck it and do it. Unfortunately, saying fuck it and do it is absolutely going to alienate everybody. Right? So if it's in the 1st house and you say fuck it and do it, you're going to alienate people based on your looks. If you do it in the 3rd house and you say fuck it and do it your own way, you're going to alienate people. So that's the deal with if you say fuck it in the 6th house and do it your own way, people are gonna not get their medicine. You know, you're not gonna people aren't gonna you're not gonna change anybody's diaper. You're not gonna take care of people. There are, you know, we live in a symbiotic world for the most part. So that's the gist. Now, everybody should have felt Pluto moving, slowing down and getting ready to move forward in the next couple of days. I don't know how you couldn't feel that. I have no idea how you couldn't feel that. It's like, first, the obvious thing that everybody in the entire world should have seen, like, was that Facebook fiasco that happened yesterday, is a clear example of a change that's happening. That's, you know, they're being forced to make a change. A very clear example of Facebook business, Instagram, etc., being forced to do some kind of bullshit behind the scenes. And they're probably going to say fuck it and do their own thing. But here's the retrograde right now for Pluto, 24 degrees Capricorn. Pluto's going to be direct. So you can see it slowing down. 3, 57, 53, 51, slowing down. And then here, you know, towards the 6th and the 7th, that's it. You should feel, where the hell did Pluto go? Over here. You should feel the effects of Pluto slowing down right now. Now, getting ready to move forward. Mind you, Mercury's going to be retrograde for a while. Look at all this. No, that's Neptune. Mercury's over here. Mercury's retrograde for another week and a half or so. So you're just going to have to roll with the whole Mercury thing. Don't be afraid of Mercury retrograde, but at the same time, don't do any bullshit with it either, right? Take it all nice and chill. This is, for those who are new to astrology, this is what an ephemeris looks like. And that's the deal. These are all of the planets and where they are in the sky right now. And that's the deal. So that's the deal. So that's what's going on. Saturn's retrograde for another week. See that? This is Saturn right here. Saturn's retrograde for another week. It's going to be direct next Tuesday. I'm leaving on Monday. Maybe I'll leave on Tuesday. I got to talk to some people and see. So that's what's going on, guys. That's the ephemeris. Let's go back to the sky now. And that's what's happening. So that's it. So we'll talk about this more tomorrow. When we come online tomorrow, I'm going to do the Australia charts. Actually, I'll do Ericka's chart first, and then we're going to sit for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and take our time. Nice, slow, low energy day, and do all that stuff on Australia first, Susan Oz, because like it's a little tricky because we got to figure out what's going on. But I have an idea of what's going to happen. I got an idea. I'll tell you something in advance. All right, so that's this. Let's pull up Ericka's boyfriend here. Let's do. I might have it in here. But so, I'll tell you something to watch out for that. Oh, no, I'll tell you about it when I see her thing. Ericka, Jan 27th, 95. Is that the one? Did I say it out loud? Oh, I guess I better not put a 2 beside that name. So, oh, my God. Well, you know... Well, he has a name now. Michael. All right, he's got a name. That's a good sign. All right, edit. You know it's serious when it goes from BFF to name. Look at Ericka's laughing away. She's like, oh my God. You know it's love because we're on a first name basis. Wow. Well, it's farther than most of my relationships have gone. but very proud of you. Very proud of you. Congratulations. I hope it works out. Okay, I just bug at Ericka. Ericka likes this guy. And so, oh shit, this guy's going to go through a real fucked up life experience. Oh my God. Changed it from an eggplant to a heart. Oh, that's so sweet. I wish someone would send me an eggplant. Oh, no.
No,
you don't.
You want a peach.
Oh, I want a peach. Oh.
Or cherries.
Or cherries. I am so not internet dating ever.
Well, not if you're sending eggplants.
Oh my God.
I mean, not if you're getting eggplants.
Yeah, there was a time people used to send me pictures in their... Anyways, whatever. Whatever I would have to do with that before I got married. No one sent me anything in a long time. I can't believe it. I don't even get any eggplants. Whatever the fuck. We got a fucking rainbow as our sign and everything, and nobody sends me nothing. No eggplants. I'm gonna get fucking scurvy if you guys don't start sending me this fruit shit. So, no bananas, that's weird. Plus, bananas too high in calories. So... Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, everybody calm down. Nobody sends...
Was that a welcoming to do a thirst trap in the Sunnyside group?
You want to do a thirst trap in the Sunnyside group? Oh, my God.
I'll start it.
They're all Capricorns here this morning. Literally, all the Capricorns tuned in. They're not going to thirst trap. You're going to see Memes is going to put on, like, everybody's going to dress like... All of these guys are going to make erotic pictures dressed up like Hillary Clinton. It's all fucked up. Oh, yeah, that's really sexy. Back in 2008.
Like Hillary Clinton. Put on my pantsuit.
Oh, my God. What movie were we watching last night where the mother comes on and tells everybody to dress like Hillary Clinton?
I don't know, because you guys started watching one of their shows, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I was falling asleep. All right, well, do your best. Yeah,
That's
Elle, you guys do your best.
hilarious.
Memes is like, ew, I would never dress like Hillary Clinton. All right, well, you could dress like Donald Trump, whatever. But that's...
Isn't it a Libra moon? It's a Libra moon now, right?
It's a Libra moon. They'll be just... We can't do no thirst trap on the sun. Okay, we'll do a thirst trap tomorrow on the sun. Martha Stewart. Oh, my God. She got street cred. Memes would never dress up as Donald Trump. Oh, man. Do you know how much orange makeup that would take? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I'd have to put a... All right, okay. Martha Stewart is cool, I guess.
Martha Stewart's dope, dude. She's done
Yeah.
jail time. She smokes bud.
She is one crooked-ass bitch,
She's got a
man.
teardrop
She's-
tattooed underneath her foundation.
She did? She's got it
No,
too.
I don't know.
I know guys like that. I know in Chicago I met some, because I'm not really
Oh, yeah.
afraid of people. Like, I'm not...
Yeah, right?
Gang guys don't bug me, because, like, I'm
Right.
Sonny. I'll just
Right.
make them all jump into traffic. And they know it.
You'll just talk about all their mommy issues and make them cry.
Yeah, I'll
They
just...
cry while holding their pistol.
I'll just make them walk into traffic.
Daddy
They know
never
it too.
loved me.
All right, here we go. Okay, so, all right, do you guys know what a thirst trap is? Oh, watermelon. What the hell is watermelon for? Oh, is that like a sex thing? Is that like a pie? Watermelon? Elle sent me sexy emojis.
Ooh, maybe she means she's juicy with the watermelon.
She's gonna call out my scurvy. She's gonna cure me,
Ooh,
cure my
that's-
online scurvy. Do you guys
that'll
see
do
that?
it.
Oh, okay, everybody calm down. Everyone calm down. All right. So you guys are saying when I comment on other people's videos. So if I go comment on Tyler's videos or something, I never comment on Tyler's, but if I comment on someone's videos, then no more sending eggplants, right? Is that the... I was thinking of sending the Leo King some eggplants.
Yeah.
He looks like he likes eggplants, man. He looks like a guy who's like... Yeah, I don't see him wearing a leather belt. Not that I was looking that low, but... I got the feeling he wears cloth shoes. Just say.
Cloth shoes.
What does that even mean, Sonny? Well, if you knew what it meant, Sue knows what it means. Oh, yeah. Sue's like, does he like, oh, yeah, I would never date a guy with cloth shoes. You don't wear a leather belt. That ain't real. All right.
It kind of looks like my Cancer ex. What was the asshole?
Oh, my God. All right, next.
I know,
Nice.
right?
Or do you guys think I should send him some cherries? Yeah. Or brains. I'll send him some brains.
Crystal ball cherries.
Actually, I don't give a shit. All right, Dimitri, have a wonderful day. I'm just spacing out here, killing time.
In the vortex.
In the vortex.
Vortex.
I'm going to take it really easy, and then...
Tacarese.
Because that thing for Sue is kind of daunting, and I know it's going to take some time. I know I'm going to like doing it, but it's daunting. It takes some time. I'm a little tired today. Let's do a tarot reading for everybody. No, let's just do Ericka's thing. I'm procrastinated for 45 minutes, for 50 minutes. All right, well, welcome to the sunny side. Ah, so that's the deal. Ericka's BFF, Michael. He has a name. Oh my god, he progressed to name.
It's getting serious. Pluto. It's changing things.
I never used SLC's real name until started getting divorced. And then I write a real name on everything.
That'll show you get no nickname.
Yeah.
No pet name for you.
All right, let's see what's going on with this guy. Kids getting braces. Yeah, I know, memes. Good luck. Braces are a real bitch on the first couple of days. So, you know, good luck. Sincerely, good luck. Zombie race time. Yeah, I hope that woman messages me back soon enough, or else I'm going to get busy later today goofing off. Oh, horoscopes tomorrow, by the way, guys. We're going to do the horoscopes. I'm going to write them this afternoon, and Lexus is going to read them tomorrow on the sunny side right here when we do the horoscopes tomorrow. All right, here we go. Let's do this chart, and then we'll come back down to then we'll spend some time with Sue's stuff.
Good on coffee?
I am.
Maybe warm up your cup?
Oh, no, thank you. Everything is cool. Oh, yeah, I was online for like a minute. That really surprised me that day. Well, it was a targeted hit job, so. Yeah, we don't talk about her anymore. Let's move on. There are a lot of beautiful girls in this world. Let's not forget who I am, where I come from, and where I'm going. All I gotta do is go to work for one day, and there's the fucking line of models right there. So, yeah, let's not forget that I am an erotic hypnotist. And so, all right, let's move on. All right, here you go. Let's look at Michael's chart and see what's going on. So the first thing, so can you guys see this? Do you guys see any trouble in the chart? I see trouble in the chart right away. It's right here. So Ericka, the guy's going to have it rough. Not rough quite yet, but he's going to have a very similar thing that I'm going through. The north node is going to sit, or the south node is going to sit right here at 1 degree until January. Now, it moves backwards. The nodes move in retrograde fashion. So it's going to hit 0 degrees in January, like in the middle of January. And it's not the nodes aren't really going to sit that long on his Pluto. 1 degree is far worse. Right now, 1 degrees are far worse. And so he's not going to get the worst of it. In addition to, okay, so that's the first thing. So it's going to sit on his Pluto. It's going to take, so as we were talking about Pluto earlier, the 10th house is his career and public image. So he might feel no control over his public image, or he might feel as if there's no control over his career. He might feel if it's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. He might say, oh, this is all bullshit and fuck it, and try and work really hard to overcome his Pluto trappings. But I don't really think that's what happens. That's what could happen, but it rarely is what happens. The thing with Pluto is it tends to overanalyze, or it tends to obsess. And there's a tendency of, why can't I do it? There's a tendency in Pluto's, why can't I do it? What kind of bullshit is going on? How come all this fuckery happens with everybody else and not with me? What kind of bullshit's going on here? And that's where, or I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want because this shit ain't happening anyways. And he has that happening in his career and his public life, which is really strange because his Jupiter is in the 11th house, and his moon and his Venus, they are all in the 11th house. And so this guy should be extremely popular, like tons and tons and tons of friends. He's also a friends into lovers guy. He's also an extremely loving guy, very straight shooter, and I think I would really like him. So I think we'd have a lot of fun and party it up. But with his, so that's it. So he should be quite famous. These are famous aspects in his chart. However, with Pluto and the North Node cruising, sitting there in his 10th house, publicly might cause him a lot of problems, or at work might cause a lot of bullshit. And this is important because this is what's happening right now. His work life is coming under some kind of bullshit for the next little while. Now, it's a little bit weird to say something like that because Venus has been cruising through his 10th house. So Venus crossed the North Node, so he might have received a new job. He might have got a new job recently, or a promotion of sorts, or something good should be happening in his career and in his public life right now. Okay, so that's what should be happening. It's what he's going through. But the North Node is about to park right here. And when it does, he's going to be in for a very wild and painful ride for the next, between now and February when it comes to his work life and his public career. Later on next year, he's going to go through the node opposition. He's looking for a job. He should get the job. If he doesn't get one in the next couple of weeks, I would probably say he's probably going to get it in January. But he should push hard to get a job right now. We'll do the other thing. We'll look at this stuff. This, and then we'll come back. This stuff right here is all in travel and education. So travel, education, Mercury is retrograde here. Maybe he was studying something he used to study before, or he was polishing up his degree, or he's taking some courses or something. Or maybe he just wanted to travel. Maybe just wanted to travel or look at distant shores. But, excuse me, this, and Mercury's retrograde here. So this is studying, and over here is actually getting the job. So, I don't know. Venus isn't always about love and money and attraction and getting the stuff. Venus also brings ease. So just like down here, Venus in the 4th house getting a break on your rent can mean you're evicted. Venus in the 6th house means, you could have a lot of free time in your day, but that happens when you lose your job. And Venus over here in the 10th house, there's a situation where he has a lot of spare time and ease in the 10th house because he doesn't have a job. So, or he doesn't have a public outlet to his, to his rapport. So that's what's going on. But in spite of all of that, next year is a very big year. So Ericka, next year is a big year. When his nodes oppose each other, right, when the South Node is right here, he's going to go through a big life change. So sometime later next year, he's going to feel it, and he's not going to be able to really he might, next year, if he works really hard, he might get his dream job. He might get his, or he's going to change careers. Dream job, change careers, but something big is going to happen to his public persona and his career. Next year, something very big is going to happen to his career, and something really big is going to happen to his home life as well. So, Ericka, maybe he moves next year. Maybe he gets it. Maybe he finally gets that dream job, and you guys move in together, or he gets that dream job, and you guys get and he moves. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to get a dream job, and he's going to move, and that's what the deal is. That's his big change. His big flex next year is going to be in his career. As for right now, though, he should keep looking. I don't know that he's looking for jobs, or if he's studying right now, or if he's goofing off with Mercury retrograde in the 9th house, but he should get a job pretty soon. I don't see how it's very clear right here. Venus is going to, Venus is about to cross his Pluto. So there you go. It's either, I know Venus is squaring his sun, technically, not really, but technically. When Venus gets in here, he's going to, right around here, he's going to be okay. Give it a week or two. And Venus is going to make a really nice aspect to the sun, and there's a strong possibility he'll get his new job soon. And that's the deal. Pluto's going to cut a swath through right this, so I would expect next year he gets a little bit weird. Chiron to leave his 3rd house. Oh, I don't know that you want Chiron to leave his 3rd house. That's not such a bad place for it.
Right. Can I have it there?
Chiron right here. Let's see. Well, it's on the cusp, right? Chiron, Cancer, Trust. It's going to do this. It's going to go this way. It's going to dance into a second house, and it's going to be retrograde for a while. Let's go this to weeks. It's going to sit there for a while. See, it's going to go into a second house. And then it's going to move forward, and then it's going to cross back in his third house and sit here for a while. For a long while. So, I don't... Look, we're deep in 2022. So, let's go back to today. So, Venus is in his... So, Chiron is down here, just entered his third house. And it's here for a while. Like, it's here. It's going to drip back into his second house. You know, right around October, right around the middle of October, it's going to cruise back into the second house. Like at the beginning of October, it cruises back in. But then he's going to have money problems. You don't want Chiron in the second house. It's going to cause money problems. And it's going to stick around the money house for a while. It's going to stick around. And it's just going to sit there. He's going to be upset about money. And it's in the 8th house. You know, you don't really want Jupiter to make an aspect to Chiron. That's not the most empowering thing. That's going to cause problems. You're going to get upset. And so you don't want Chiron to make it. Nah. Anyways, he's got to heal. He's got to heal. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. No, Ericka, seriously. You don't want the guy's car because the guy's gonna just start making money. Oh my God, this is the worst possible thing for the guy. Think about it. Look at it like this in a practical way. The guy's gonna just start making money. I came over here so I can see you guys again. The guy's just gonna start making money. He's just gonna get a job. Venus is just gonna go there. Venus is gonna transit. It's gonna make an aspect to his sun, and then he's gonna go through his Venus return. He's ready to make money. But Chiron is going to go into his second house, and he's going to be like, fuck, everybody's going to be itching for money from him. So everybody's going to want to pay him back. There's nothing going on up here, right? There's no paying back going on up here. But Chiron is right there, you know. He doesn't like borrowing money from people. He doesn't like leaning on people. He does like empowering people. He likes to empower people. He doesn't like to borrow money from them. But when Chiron goes in the second house, he's going to be like, fuck, I just started making money and I got to pay everyone back. It's like the biggest fucked up thing that could possibly happen. So just roll with it. Just roll with it. He's going to be okay. And so, so just roll. So just tell him to roll with it. Ericka, it's going to be all okay. What other nonsense is happening in this chart? That's about it. You got to get his back. He's going to start making money soon. As we go through stuff, he's not out of all the nonsense yet. Like he's not. He has a little bit of big planet BS to go through. He has to, you know, like in November, December, Saturn's going to cross his sun, so he's going to be reclusive. He's going to feel alone, isolated. He's going to feel a little stuck. Jupiter's going to make this aspect to Mercury. He's probably going to talk a lot. He's going to think about changing himself. Maybe he's thinking about getting a tattoo or something like that. And then, you know, next year he goes through his, well, I guess in a year and a half he goes through his Saturn return, and he's going to go through the node thing. He's going to go through a big life change, Ericka. I think he's going to finally get the job. I think he's going to finally get the dream job, and then he's going to move on. I don't think he's going to settle down because he's clearly a bad boy. You don't have all this Sagittarius and a Capricorn rising, of course. Like, he's clearly a bad boy. But I think, you know, he's going to take a big, major step forward in his life in the next year and a half. Big. Ericka's like, yeah. He's such a player. He sends everybody eggplants. He's going to send eggplants to the priest. Yeah, or he might fuck you up and send cherries. I'm going to fuck up that, I'm going to fuck up some retarded YouTubers and make comments and leave them cherries. And say, or I'm going to leave them those wet symbols. That'll be so fun. I got to fuck with
Just random cherries.
Yeah.
And then the eye, then the third eye emoji.
Third
Just
eye.
cherries and the third eye. I love doing that to people. I'll put the third eye like, I see you.
I don't even watch all those videos anymore. I used to when I was, SLC used to watch them, and so we used to tell her what I thought about the different stuff, but not anymore, and I don't really care about as much anymore. But I do read some of the stuff. All right, Ericka, that's going on with Michael. Can we use his real name now, Michael? So that's what's going on. He's going to have a big change in his career and a big change in his home next year. And he's got to shake it up. That's the deal. He's going through a big life change right now, so you just got to be there for him, and you know, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for him. All right, there we go. All right, next. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay, he's going to be okay. All right, everybody ready? Shall we get down to Australia? Shall we do a quick tarot reading? Let's just get on with the Australia stuff. What the fuck? Okay, so this is a... Okay, so there are a couple of people's charts to look at. We're going to start with Australia, right? We'll start just with Australia and see what's going on with Australia and what the deal with Australia is. Charts. Australia. So I have Australia's birth date as January 1st, 1901. Oh, damn. I should do some transits while I'm at it. All right. So we don't know Australia's birth time, but that's a little bit irrelevant for what we're doing here. We're just going to... Actually, I'm going to shift the transits. I'm going to shift the chart around so it's easier to see. So let's move it back a couple hours. Move it forward a couple of hours. And we'll use the net chart for now. Son of a bitch. And then we'll... Alright, we'll do it like this. So this is what Australia's chart looks like, more or less. So what's going on with Australia? Anything crazy? Anything really crazy happening with Australia right now? See, you guys have to... One of the things you guys have to really internalize, it's... Hey, Mike, what's up, playa? It's whether you have internal angst or there's something real that's happening. And oftentimes, something real is not happening. And you project your insecurities or you project the astral energy onto people in positions of power. And there are times when, certain buffoonery is welcome in the political spectrum. And there are other times when that exact same political buffoonery is rejected. And there's a time, if you guys study economics, you'll recognize the cycles. And there are times to have government control, and there are times to have little government control. So there are times for in an economic cycle, there are times for certain ideologies and not time for certain ideologies to help the economy, which is like a child, prosper and grow. Unfortunately, you have political self-interest mixed into the equation, which is external of helping the child grow, just like an adult, has to live their own life in addition to the life of the child. So in this situation, I'm warning you guys as we look into the chart, just because society or the world currently thinks someone is a bad person or not, it may not actually be the case. It might be the collective conscious looking for, rejecting or rebelling against what's considered the establishment. And that happens in politics almost every single election. So, and during every single cycle of every kind, you will always have a rebellious faction that's going to want to topple the what's there right now. And it's not necessarily an age thing, although it can be. More often than not, it's a self-interest thing. And these ideologies may work in the moment, but they downplay these knee-jerk reactions, downplay the role, like people's roles in history and society's roles in history. It's very, very common for society as a large to fixate on something, to draw erroneous conclusions because guys are fucking stupid with no sense of history, and come to, and then suddenly project all of your bullshit or emotional repression or repressed emotional bullshit onto the political leaders of the time. And some of them weren't even born at the time of some of the atrocities that you're bitching about happened. So be careful. It's not, this is a long-winded way of saying, the politicians, you guys are treating, they're not mom and dad, and you're not a child. And, just because you don't like something or because it costs you a little bit money or something like that, then it doesn't mean this, or you're racist, or you're stupid, or you're xenophobic, or you're myopic, or you like live in a small town and you're like, hey, Sonny, what's going to do the thing? And I'm like, you know what? We're an international channel. And I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, or you give me a city's name and I'm like, what fucking country is that in? So, you have to, I believe that before we get into this, that you have to be responsible. And I believe that whatever system is in place, it's up to you to make the most of that system, because that system is your opportunity. Believe it or not, that system is your opportunity, and it's how you can get the most out of even the most limited opportunities that you have. It's all a challenge, and that's the deal. Many people want to change the system, but I'm telling you, the system is organic. And the system is changing in its own organic way. And by the time the system is changed, you're going to be one lonely, afraid, stupid, broke-ass motherfucker by trying to topple the walls of Jericho instead of feeding your fucking family. You guys got to get to that. You guys got to get to the stage. You have to do that. But then again, some of you are in a place right now where you're at the advantageous position where you can look beyond your own walls and help your neighbors. And as such, if you're in that advantageous position of looking beyond your own walls because your own, your own self, your own boundaries are taken care of, then, yeah, we can get on and look at things. Now, I'm telling you all of this because we're going to clearly see in these charts that there's some kind of change coming in Australia. But I'm warning you guys that there's a difference in the astrology because there are a tremendous amount of astrological bullshitters out there. And you can tell it's astrology bullshit because they're going to come up with one extremely fucking obscure aspect. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Astrology should be obvious. And so that's what we're going for. So I'm just warning as we go in that although there might be some kind of overall theme or sentiment that's happening in the world right now, which very much we're going through. We are all going through Pluto restructuring Capricorn. That's what the world is going through. And the world is restructuring. It's Pluto, so it's restructuring Capricorn themes, which are big business, control, obviously, and political structures. So in spite of anything you might think or feel, the world is going through a transformation of political structures, and it's happening in every country in the world right now, for better and for worse. Hey, Roxanne, what's up? I hope you're having a beautiful day. So just absorb that for a moment. The world is going through a painful transformation of political structures. We've already seen the toppling of major companies. We've seen a major shift in retail from in-store. I was talking to Alexis about this last night. We saw before Trump did his economic nonsense on the world, or before COVID, before Trump, there was a big shift happening in the retail economy. It was a big shift away from going to the shopping malls and shopping centers and a big push towards shopping online. And that's what Pluto's doing. It's changing the structures. And the same with, yeah, Elle says she sensed that in England. England is going through this political fucking mentalness right now. And so is the world. The world is going through political fucking mentalness right now. The Middle East has been going through this political fucking mentalness for the last couple of years. For the like it's been going through it for a while, but the Americans have slowly been pulling out, pushing and pulling and changing their structure in the Middle East for the last couple of years. You know, as Pluto's going through Capricorn, the Americans are changing, restructuring their positions. Prince Harry and his wife, you know, that's an example of restructuring the monarchy. But the truth is, those two fucking idiots are so down the chain. It's always could be in. You could fucking flush the toilet and not reach those guys. They're like, he's upset because he's like 10th in line, and his wife's a bitch. Fuck.
I think they were smart breaking off. They'll make more money this way. You know,
there's no way in hell they will make more money this way.
Oh, really? Really?
There is no possible way on any universe that dude and that chick will make more money outside of the monarchy.
Oh, okay.
There is no possible way. There is no way.
Do you think he just wanted to break away too, like being a part of it so long?
No,
really,
he didn't want to break. No,
because
she wanted it, and he was being rebellious. It was 100%. It's 100% bullshit. And her problem was, she didn't want to have to. She thought she was going to be a princess. That's what she thought. But she's not a princess, and she's pissed. And she didn't want to have to bow or curtsy to that other chick, who's going to be the fucking queen. She didn't want to bow. She's fucking American. Are you going to let some... There's no way in hell. She's a fucking American. They have no concept of law or like tradition or value. She has no fucking values of any kind. She's no tradition, no values. She's like she's like not a... She's just fucking American. She's like... She makes it up as she goes along. So like... Have
you looked at their charts?
I looked at her chart.
Yeah.
She makes it up as she goes along, and she didn't want the bottom line. She didn't want to have to curtsy to Kate, and she thinks she's a fucking movie star. She had a bit part on a popular TV show. Like she's not really all that shit. So,
she is inspirational though. So like brown women, you know, that part's cool.
She's inspirational to stupid women who don't follow tradition.
She's inspirational to me.
She's pregnant. Her thing was mental health problems. She's fucking pregnant in the royal palace in England. She is surrounded by fucking doctors. Surrounded. She said, "How are you feeling today? Is anything bugging you?" And to say that there are no doctors is bullshit. No, the bottom line is, she thought she was going to be a princess, and she's fucking stupid, and she did her own shit her own way. She's only inspiring people who want to take shortcuts. I'm going to say that again. Then we'll get back to Australia. That chick is the queen of taking fucking shortcuts, taking her ball and going home, and fucking people over on the way. She will not. She is 100% American, and she will not. She wanted to do her own thing, and doesn't fly over there. She doesn't understand the concept of... She's a fucking lazy actress. And now she's doing it. And she got all that money. And she got her husband's money. And now she's going to try and... She has no track record. Guys. How... Guys.
Have you done a video on her chart?
Not yet.
That'd be...
She has no track record of any kind. I've never seen her in any movie. Seeing it professional, they're not going to get divorced. Don't be silly. She's like,
She's hot.
yeah, he likes his chick.
Yeah.
So for better or worse, he likes his chick, and his chick's a bitch. So what are you gonna do? And so that's, but you can't invest in that. She has no track record of being able to carry a movie on her own. She just doesn't. It's like you can't invest in that. And so you guys might think she'll have some made-for-TV returns and all that shit. But Mercury's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde when they're doing all this stuff. It's gonna fuck up.
She is a Leo. Yeah,
it's gonna fuck up. She'll never be. Yeah, she's a drama queen and a liar. I don't know if she's a liar. But we sure have ass know she stretches the truth. And
is that what her chart shows?
Yeah, she has Mars in the 12th fucking house. She's a liar. So she's full of shit. So, all right, next. You guys get me all passionate about this. And that big fucking shit about them.
Jesus.
That big shit about the royal family wasn't going to pay anymore for their security. You know, they wanted Canada to pay. I don't think I should have to pay for them to go live in Victoria. Nobody lives in Victoria. Victoria is like Sedona. There's nobody here. Why you need all those security guards? Why?
Oh my God.
Go live in the States and pay for it yourself. So, all right.
Damn, Sonny, tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I feel even worse than that. I'm like so pissed off with that. She got dragging everybody through the bullshit. And then all those fucking people like, oh, tell it like it is. She's not telling it like it is. She's telling it like some kind of fucking... Like, I lived through narcissistic abuse on several occasions. She is a straight jack narcissist. She's a full of shit fucking jack narcissist. Straight up. Straight up. And that's how... And the most and biggest thing is, she didn't want to follow the traditions of one of the most traditional families in the entire world. That's the thing. You don't marry the family. If you don't want to go to Casa Sunshine, you don't marry me. Right? I come with my parents attached. What are you going to do?
But you mean you don't believe she experienced... I mean, I believe she experienced racism and shit. I mean, they weren't thrilled about that.
She is from the United States of America. You telling me she didn't experience racism in the United States of America?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's she would have experienced racism in the tabloids. Yes, British tabloids are harsh, but I do not think that she experienced racism in the royal family at all. I think she experienced zero racism from the royal family. I think what she experienced was she wanted to do a bunch of shit she's not supposed to do because she's way down the totem pole, and she called that racism because it's what Americans do.
You should do her chart with the Queen's chart.
The Queen loved her. The
Really?
Queen loved her. This is not about that. This is about...
Did you look at their chart?
I didn't look at the chart. I look at her chart. This is yeah, Elle says Oprah made it all about racism. There's a lot of camera angles for that shot. Do you guys notice? A lot of camera angles for that bullshit shot. And Oprah's an actress. Guys can get through the... Oprah's an actress. She's an Oscar-winning actress. One of the best actresses in the last 100 years. So, no. Sue's right. The tabloids are really harsh over there. Yeah, the tabloids are going to make that. And the...
But that'd be an interesting one, the Queen in her chart.
I don't think anything the tabloids did to her is any worse than what people in the United States do every single day to all of their celebrities and all of their people in power. I just don't see that. I don't see it. In the United States, you have an entire segment, almost half of the population is just turn on any social media and you'll see memes of all this bullshit. You'll see the United States. There's an entire segment of social media in the United States that's founded on hating people with different beliefs. It's founded on that. The guy, that InfoWars guy, Fox News, the whole bullshit. It's founded on hatred. And so it's built upon hatred. It's a pile of shit. And the British tabloids are the same. The British tabloids are pretty harsh too. So I don't think she experienced racism in the royal family. I think she's just a bitch. That's what I think. I think she's just a bitch. Let's get back to Australia. This is for Susan Oz. If Susan was right here, she'd be cussing me out right now. Sonny, when are you going to get to it? Okay, so let me get back to it. That's what I think in that kind of thing. I think, who gives a fuck? She got her money and she got out, and she's a maximum drama narcissist. You gonna think? You're like, if you have a problem with your in-laws, which she clearly didn't have, if you have a problem with your in-laws, she had a problem with Kate. If you have a problem with your sister-in-law, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen if you take that out on Oprah? If I sat here and started to bitch about my ex-wife, my current soon-to-be ex-wife, what the fucking bullshit you guys gonna think is that gonna happen? Half of you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't realize about all that about Sonny. And the other half is gonna say, my god, Sonny's a fucking asshole. It's the same thing with that chick. Yeah, on one hand, you get a whole bunch of people who don't give a shit what she says and gonna be like, oh, this girl, oh yeah, she got treated. And on the other hand, the other people are going to say, hey, that's just fucking bullshit. This chick, she should have known what she's getting into. And I'll tell you something. She did know what she was getting into. She hung around those motherfuckers for a while. So it's all bullshit.
You think she knew she could control him?
I think he loves his chick.
I think so too. I do love that about him.
He's a Virgo, right? He's a grouchy Virgo. I don't know, but I'm not sure what his chart is, but he's a grouchy Virgo, and he loves his chick. He digs his chick. And so the guy digs his, I believe very strongly, it doesn't matter how much of a bitch your wife is. If you dig your chick, you dig your chick. And that's the way I look at it. Until she starts sending you all these legal documents and you have to hire a lawyer and then you're all fucked and you got to go live from place to place until you get sorted. And then you're going to have to do something about it. But until that time, until that time happens, don't. Oh, he's a Cancer. Is that the deal? He's a Cancer like his mom? Yeah, one of them's a Cancer and the other one's a Virgo. And so, yeah, he's a moody Cancer and he digs his chick, man. And I believe very strongly with that. And I've told you guys, that a million times. In my world, if it bugs my chick, then it bugs me too. And we're not doing it anymore. And it doesn't matter, and I don't listen to excuses. I don't care about anything. If it bugs her, we're not doing it.
Because you're a good man.
Well, I don't like to hear bitching and complaining constantly. so, can I have some more coffee, please? And then we're gonna get this. You know, this entire conversation was a preface to the Australia stuff, saying we're gonna see certain things in the chart. However, don't confuse public sentiment with the chart itself. So just because everybody wants everything to change doesn't mean the country itself is going to change. So that's the big deal. There's a little bit more that we'll go on to that in a sec. That's what I believe. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. If it bugs my chick, it bugs me. And that's how my life works until said chick starts attacking me for what other people do. And then, well, then you're going against the family. And going against the family is no longer my decision. It's not my decision as a person. It's my decision as the head of the family. And my decision as the head of the family is, might be a little bit different. And so, you should know enough not to go against the family. That's just fucking wrong. And that's what that chick did. She went against the family. She should have talked it out with everybody. And they might have said, But she pulled the ultimate narcissist move. She pulled the ultimate narcissist move. She's going to ghost the royal family. She's going to ghost the largest landowner in the entire world. And she's going to go live on a little piece of thing like this little $30 million piece of property. And it's a...
Do you think her ego just couldn't take it as a Leo? Like,
yes. I think her ego couldn't take it. I think she didn't understand the work that's involved with being in the royal family. And everyone else does. Even Princess Diana understood it. Especially Princess. And that's the kid's mom. Oh, Inessa, he's a Virgo? Yeah, he's a grouchy little Virgo. And so everybody in the royal family knows it's a work thing. And she's fucking lazy. She's just, let her go be it. But I think it's okay, Inessa. But the dude loves his wife, so let him go have fun. Let him go party it up, have fun. He has a lot of money. I think she's going to burn through his money pretty quick. I don't know how business savvy she really is. And I think she's going to burn through the money pretty quick. I think it's going to be very showy. And we're going to see. We're going to have to see how society catches them as they fall. But maybe they come up with a whole bunch of really good TV shows.
right?
Maybe they do. Maybe they sell a bunch of shit to Netflix. Maybe they'll make a bunch of movies. But I'll tell you, in my time in the entertainment industry, I've been with you guys 2 weeks, and you can imagine that I sit and I hear a lot of stories every day, and I hear a lot of stuff. And I'm stressed out, so I'm just spaced out these days. But the amount of people who think they could be a star versus the people who really can be a star it's insanely disproportionate. And to take a chance on someone with no track record, it's a really difficult thing to do. And so to invest in their company, like big money in a film that she makes, I don't know that is something that's a good idea.
Is she doing it another film? Or you just
I don't know what they're doing. But they have a production company. And these things, they're not like, they're currently driven by curiosity. And curiosity, potential, is a marketable commodity. However, after the curiosity is subsided, and you're like, okay, let's see this chick's TV show, it's either going to be a good show or a shit show. And then if she does a movie and it flops, like how many leading ladies on one hand can you name who really can carry the show? You've got like Hammond, Julia Roberts, right? Julia Roberts can carry a show. Drew Barrymore. Who else? Who else? Not really. There are a lot of them who do it, but actually can't carry the show. That Jennifer Aniston, she can't carry a movie.
I think she can. Some of my favorite.
Name one movie she's been in without a leading man.
Well, there's a few, but I like weird ones. I like ones.
Just
Friends with Money.
name one.
Friends with Money is one.
I'm not familiar with that
where
one.
her children died when her child died. That was really good.
I haven't seen those.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep can carry a show. Right? Julia Roberts can carry one. But these guys, or Drew Barrymore, maybe not. Viola Davis. There's some that pretty deaf girl from a number of years ago. She could do it. There's some, but there are very few.
Salma Hayek.
So, well, name a movie. Just name a movie where these guys starred without a leading man. Right. Nicole Kidman. Yeah, Nicole Kidman, totally. Nicole Kidman. There are actually a handful of them. They're not on the tip of the tongue right now, but there are a handful of them. What's her name? Angelina Jolie obviously carried a couple of movies by herself. I think that that white girl from The Avengers, she can carry a movie on her own. I think some of the younger kids can carry movies on their own.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson
Which one did she do on her own?
She did Scarlet Witch. Not Scarlet Witch. Her last movie. A movie just came out.
Oh.
That Avenger movie where she's the lead character. It's called whatever the fuck it's called.
Charlize Theron.
Is that Charlize Theron?
No, I'm just saying Charlize Theron. She's done.
She's carried it. She's carried it.
She's carried.
There are a couple of them who can carry it, but not as many as you think. Yeah, that girl from the Avengers just had her own movie out. It took a while to get it. It was okay. She was the lead character, and then some. Emma Stone carries movies. Yeah, Emma Stone carried a movie. So it's all, yes and no, yes and no. Anyways, we're not talking about that, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying. Sally Fields, she can carry a movie. We're kind of getting up there, and we're getting generational now. Marilyn Monroe can carry a movie, right? Angelina Jolie, definitely. Marilyn Monroe, obviously. And that's the deal. So, but what I'm saying is, Queen Latifah can definitely carry a movie all on her own. I watch a Queen Latifah movie. And so, that, all right, so there we go. So I'm just saying, to have that girl, so to have that, definitely Queen Latifah. So having that chick wanting to start a production there's no guarantee there's no guarantee of fame in the industry, especially for someone like that without a track record, and it's really scary. There are some people who have a very successful track record on TV shows. Maybe that's where she's going to go, but it is. I don't know that one, Leon. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not hating or anything at all. I'm just saying it's a bad investment. So we'll have to see what goes on. All right, let's get back to this stuff. Enough. I'm starting to sound like a bit of a hater against it, and I'm not. I really want to see people succeed. I'm just putting on my entertainment business hat right now, and I'm saying it's not the greatest investment in the world right now to invest in that. But I'm quite certain they will have a lot of stuff on TV. They should have a lot of stuff on TV. Yeah, maybe Whitney Houston. You guys are naming people from 40 years ago. The Bodyguard was like in 1985. What are you guys... That dude, that Field of Dreams... That guy, what's his name? Kevin Costner? He playing Field of Dreams at like full care nursing home right now. He's tossing the ball around. He's sitting in a wheelchair tossing the ball to some nothing. He's probably sitting there saying, I keep tossing the ball into the field, but the field don't throw the ball back. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get on with it. Whitney Houston made some amazing. She was really talented. Whitney Houston's ridiculously talented. Whitney Houston's got to be one of the most talented people of all time. one of the most talented of all time. Seriously, Whitney Houston was fucking awesome. All right, let's get on with it. All right, everybody, cool? Enough? Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know that she carried the movie. I liked Gwyneth Paltrow in. Was that Gwyneth Paltrow in Romeo and Juliet? I really liked that old Romeo and Juliet stuff. That one with Leonardo DiCaprio. I really liked that version of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, let's get back to the Australia thing. We're going to sit here until 1 o'clock and then we're going to take off. And I'm waiting for an email to see if we're going to do our thing. All right, enough. Let's get on with this. What's that, Liam? I just repin your city. Oh, Leon, come on. Anyways, I like Whitney Houston. Okay, let's go down. Let's change the timestamp back to... Well, my computer really is slow. I wonder if I have some more spyware on my computer. I wonder if someone is doing that thing. Anyways, that's our talk about that chick who married that British dude. She may love him, she may not love him, I don't know. But I think that guy really digs his... I think he really likes her. So, And I think the kids are so cute. Like, I think they're so cute. They're awesome. All right, let's get on with things here. Okay, so this is for Sue Oz, but it's for everybody. So first we'll look at Australia's chart. So here we go. Here is one of the potential birth charts for Australia. So let's just look at the transits for a second. Let's look at the transits for a second. So here we go. First up, and it's happening to everybody, but first up and truly obvious for anyone who follows any kind of sunny side astrology, Australia is at a major crossroads right now. They're going through a node opposition. So they're going through a node opposition, not a node conjunction. So they're not. So there is starting. Oh, it's too bad Sue's not here. She's really gonna like this. She wants the dates in a couple of weeks. Not earlier than a couple of weeks.
Did you timestamp it?
Did I timestamp it? Yeah, and I changed the timestamp because I goofed around for an hour and so we have the transiting nodes are going to park right here at 1 degree, and it's going to do it all the way until January. So Australia is going through a major life change right now. Like right now, and it's going to be difficult for Australia until January. So it's just going to be brutal. Australia is going through major changes until January, and there's not really anything they can do about it. They have to move forward. If they don't move forward, they're going to, like, when you have a node thing like this, you have to do it. You can't not do it. And so Australia is moving forward with a big change, and it's going to be painful, and it's just going to sit there for the next couple of months. So it's absolutely coming, and there's a change. It's not a return. It's not the node return. So it's not like they're going to it's not like they're going to completely reinvent themselves, but they have to move into a new chapter in their life. And that's just the way it is. Okay, then that's just the way it is. A couple of years ago, so that's the first thing. If we back it up a little bit, you'll see that a couple of years ago, in 2019, I think 7 degrees was 2018. Let's pull this up and let's have a look. So let's say Australia, a couple of months, stretch this out a little bit. Let's back it up. So you'll see in Australia, right around I sure hit that button a lot. In Australia, they started to go, because this is a stellium here, it's a long time of BS. So I'm sure you guys would have thought it's a long time coming. And I'll tell you when, thank you, when Australia entered into its BS mode. And so right around 2016, so right before, summer 2016, Australia's probably been going through the BS for a long time now. For a very long time. Saturn cut through Australia's Venus. I guess it's a little before this. It's retrograde, right? So it's going to come back to right around here. So just right around the end of January 2016, Australia was or a little bit before that, right? Applying aspects. Saturn started making its cut through all of this. It started making its cut through its Venus. It started making Uranus, Jupiter, Chiron, Mercury, and then, all right, see you later. Then, and then it's cutting through all of this, and it's just causing nonsense and nonsense. At the same time, Pluto is has been very slowly cutting through as well. So as we progress forward, you'll see Saturn is moving forward and back. I'm doing it monthly here. Saturn moving forward, Saturn moving back, sudden and unexpected. It's behind the sun. There's sneaky shit happening in Australia that nobody knows about. That it's moving forward, and it's all bullshit, and you're like, oh, what's going on? All the other planets are doing their thing, and right around, then everything goes retrograde, and then right here, right around November 2018, or November, December, I guess, 2018, Australia would have gone through a Saturn return. And so there you go. Australia's going through their Saturn return. So there's a big restructuring and a big life transformation happening for the country of Australia around November 2018. So the bullshit began around 2016. Then there was a big philosophical shift and a forced change happening with Australia. And if you don't go through this, if you don't do it back here, it's eventually going to get taken away from you. So any politicians that were there are going to be taken away. You know, if they're not supposed to be there in the new world, then they're going to be removed, either on their own or through other ways. And so that's what's going on. So as we move forward, as the last 2 years progressed, we're just chilling along, 2019, you know, Saturn goes retrograde, blah, 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 blah. Pluto's doing its thing, but Pluto's a little benign in this chart. So just rolling with it. November 2019, we have transiting Saturn making an aspect to Pluto. So that's going to be a little tricky as well. So Australia has been going through the shiz. And then, you know, Saturn moves on. So in 2020, you guys are like, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then we're going to back it up. And we're going to eventually get to today. So it looks like Saturn's moving forward, but it's not really. And then we're going to get to where we are today, October 5th. And Saturn is moving forward and they're moving onwards. So it's time to move forward and it's time to move onwards. Saturn is not exactly making any real problems in the chart right now. Saturn's pretty low at 6 degrees. It's just retrograde. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And so here you go. So that's the thing. That's funny, Leon. That's funny. All right, so that's the deal. But Australia is not out of nonsense yet. So they're out of this Saturn nonsense. They're out of the Pluto nonsense. Jupiter is just doing whatever it wants to do. Right? These are harmonious aspects to all of this stuff. So there should be a fairly solid change happening. But as you can see, starting very shortly, let's back it all the way up, October 18th. Well, I suppose I could look on the ephemeris and tell you guys in seconds, right? Let's just wait for this to stop. Let's move it forward. So very shortly, okay, here we go, right in the middle of October, October 20th. So for Australia, they can expect something major to happen right around October 20th. Major, no joke. Major life shift is happening to Australia in the last week of October. All the BS that they're going through is just BS that they're going through, and it's not really that big of a deal. But it is time for a major change happening with Australia. All right, let's look at the next chart. Sometimes people say that it's the chart of New South Wales is the chart of... Some people say that. So let's look at this chart and see what kind of nonsense is happening with this chart. Well, this chart right here, do we see any nonsense, anything that the nodes might affect? Well, the nodes are going to affect the Venus. That's a big deal. So if we look at the chart of New South Wales, which is, I think, January 26, 1788. I don't know if this is the real chart for this place, but this is the one we have right here. And we should see some consistencies happening. So Pluto is about to make a cut through, but this Pluto making a cut through Mercury isn't really enough to change life expectancy of anything of a country. But I'll tell you what is, and so New South Wales is going to go through a Saturn return, but it's not really the biggest deal right now. It'll be big around election time, but not really big right now. Something that is big, however, is Pluto at 24 degrees is cutting and you know, we talked about Pluto a couple of times today. Pluto is cutting a really big swath. And there we go. I think that's the biggest one right now. Pluto, I think New South Wales, this is going through some kind of, they're going through some kind of Pluto change as well. There you go. You kind of want to see other big planets lining up against it. You are going to see Jupiter jumping into the action here as well. And Jupiter is going to obviously jump into the action, but Jupiter is not going to jump into the action for a couple of months, because probably around December, I think Jupiter jumps into the action. And you want to see Jupiter get to 25 degrees, because when it gets to 25 degrees, it's going to make that aspect to the nodes. So coming up, you're going to see, coming up on the horizon, you're going to see Pluto making an aspect to the nodes, and you're going to see Jupiter making an aspect to the nodes at the same time. And that's going to cause a big change. So we have two things in the chart of Australia. And let's see, I'm looking at Pluto and Jupiter. If you guys notice, I'm not looking at these guys. I'm not even looking at Venus crossing the south node here. I'm not looking at Mars. I'm not looking at Mercury. These aren't going to, they're not going to necessarily create a life change. Like they're fast-moving planets, and it's not really, although it's public sentiment, it's not really enough to really change the ideology of 300 years, right? Like, or 250 years. It's not going to change. So I wouldn't. I don't use the slow-moving planets, and we're not looking at aspects, too many aspects. We're looking at very life-changing aspects. And when you guys follow astrology with me, you'll notice quickly the difference between a bad day and like a bad, really bad life experience. When you guys get personal readings with me, one of the biggest things, the most important things that you guys get out of the reading is to know if something is going to be stuck with you for a long time, or if it's going to be over fairly quickly. You want to know if it's benign or if it's going to hang out, or when is the pain going to done. Is the guy going to, in relationships, is the guy going to stick around? Is the guy going to leave? If the guy's going to cheat? In this situation, are you going to get sick? Is there going to be a change? And Mars can trigger some of this. The moon is often used as an indicator, but we're looking at some big things. We're looking at big, slow-moving change. And that's what I see is happening. I see Australia is going through a node opposition right now. And I think New South Wales, the chart of New South Wales, is definitely going through a big, painful transition. I wouldn't be surprised if there's violence in Australia. Not in Australia's. I don't really see violence in Australia's chart, but I see violence in this chart right here. They got the nodes. Pluto's going to come in and mess it up. Now, this isn't new. Pluto's retrograde right now. Pluto was at 25 degrees at the beginning of the summer, or a couple months ago. So I would imagine that all of that BS that happened a couple of months ago, it's all coming back for New South Wales. And that's the deal. All right, next. This is pretty easy. I was thinking we wouldn't see anything, but this is really easy. It looks as if there's a big change coming. Big change coming in big change coming in Australia. A major political restructuring happening in Australia, especially in New South Wales. Now, before we move on, because I can't remember the name of that woman. Before we move on, I want to tell you guys something about... Oh no, my computer's frozen. Oh no, let's get rid of the zombies. Well, that's pretty quick. I wonder if there's some kind of thing on my channel slowing my thing down. So we're going to look at Gladys Birkin's chart, Berejiklian's chart. And she's the... what did I say her name was? That's the one who just retired, or just quit office or some kind of thing like that. But Gladys, Gladys. Yeah, check it out. See what she says. And so, well, this... Now, I'm going to tell you guys something about these transits. Before we even look at it, Well, I'll just pull it up anyways. As you're moving through this situation, she retired under Mercury retrograde, or she resigned under Mercury retrograde. There's another guy there. I don't know if the other guy resigned or not. I don't really follow Australian politics. I don't follow anybody's politics, to be honest with you, because I'm not, so. But here's the deal, and I usually only look at charts that you guys ask me to. So usually things begun under Mercury retrograde will end under Mercury retrograde. As such, Mercury retrograde or a Venus retrograde or a Mars retrograde can be used as timing of events. If you start something on Mercury, let's say you buy something under Mercury retrograde. Let's say you buy a car under Mercury retrograde. Every time Mercury goes retrograde, you're probably going to have some kind of problem with the car. And it might not happen every time Mercury goes retrograde, every time, but that's when it happens. And at some point, because you bought it under Mercury retrograde, there's a possibility that it's going to conk out on you for good during Mercury retrograde, or you might get rid of it during Mercury retrograde. If you begin a relationship during Mercury retrograde or Venus retrograde, don't ever do that shit under Venus retrograde, right? Don't ever buy anything. Number one rule in astrology is don't buy anything under Venus retrograde. Anyways, moving forward, if you do something, you start something under Mercury retrograde, you can't expect it to end under Mercury retrograde as well. There's another thing. You can expect it when Mercury goes direct to not necessarily end, but to have it suspended somehow. So if you start, let's say, a relationship under Mercury retrograde, then when Mercury goes direct, you guys are going to be separated somehow, or some kind of restructuring is going to take place, and some kind of BS is going to take place. But they'll probably be back again during the next Mercury retrograde. It's neat. That's how the timing works. Same thing with things you buy under Venus retrograde. You're like, buy it under Venus retrograde. Then when Venus goes direct, you're like, oh man, I overpaid for that thing. It's just not working out. And then when Venus goes retrograde again, you might love it again. Or you might make the same mistakes. I'm telling you all of this because this woman resigned under Mercury retrograde. So on one hand, perhaps, very obviously, maybe the resignation doesn't hold, and maybe she's forced to go back into office. Or maybe she resigned, but they need her for some reason, and she's going to get called back because she's boogieing out on the Mercury retrograde. So that's a real possibility. I know Susan didn't want to hear this, but this is for Susan Oz. There's a real possibility that she's going to boogie out and she's going to get called back. The people aren't going to let her go, or she's not going to be able to let her go. Meaning, but there are different ways you can be called back. Maybe she's going to be called back to testify. Maybe she's going to be indicted on something, or maybe she's going to be a consultant behind the scenes. A lot of politicians become consultants when they leave the public light. They, go make some more money. They make their crooked connections and they go make money from it. So that's a possibility. The resignation might not stick, or she's going to work in government in some other capacity. Another thing that might happen is, maybe she was elected and she began her tenure during Mercury retrograde. As such, if she began under Mercury retrograde, one would naturally assume, well, if you study astrology, especially here on the sunny side, you'll naturally assume that, well, she's going to end it eventually under some kind of Mercury retrograde. And that seems to be what's going on. So it's one or the other. One, they're not going to let her go too quickly, or she's going to have to go, come back. It's going to take a while to get rid of her permanently. Or the other hand is, it's just her time. It's just naturally her time. I have no idea why she resigned, and why she resigned is somewhat irrelevant. Any politician can be investigated for any kind of corruption. Like, it's too, why did you vote that way? Like, there are always haters out there looking for people to hate. And maybe she was corrupt, maybe not corrupt, but I believe, and I know some people who work in government in Canada and the United States differently, right? Different countries. And we talk about corruption every once in a while, but the people I know are generally good. And there's you could pull a corruption scam on almost anybody at any time. And but having said that, 22 Pisces, I don't really know the story, and but we'll go have a look and see. So we don't have her birth time, and we don't have the other guy's birth time. And I just wanted to preface for you guys that resigning under a Mercury retrograde, sometimes it's quite timely. If they were elected and started under a Mercury retrograde, if they began their tenure under a Mercury retrograde, during Mercury retrograde, it's highly probable that it will end during a Mercury retrograde as well. Or it's highly probable, on the other hand, that it just... is there someone walking behind me? So, anyways, there's a strong possibility that it's not going to stick. All right, let's get back to it. Just letting you guys know in advance, because that's the Mercury retrograde scene. So let's see what this woman is going through right now. Let me do this so I can see you guys talking away. You know, some fights you can win, some fights you don't win. So, anyways, Pisces 22. You know, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, you know, there's always bullshit. You can always find a degree. There's always degrees of it boils down to public sentiment and degree of acceptable bullshit, and that's what it all is. Degrees of bullshit. Okay, so what's going on with this woman here? Oh, did you really mean that? Pisces says, I meant to say that maybe she resigned because of the ongoing investigation, and maybe when that's over, she'll come back. Oh my God, can you imagine? Man, I love the sunny side. You guys are all freaking psychic. And for those who aren't psychic, you guys, this is the channel of sexy brainers. Sexy long-winded brainers who miscommunicate, I guess. Yeah, sexy brainers, right on. Yeah, Pisces, maybe. I think Sue would disagree with you. Susan would disagree with you, but like, I kind of agree with you. Yeah, maybe maybe when it's over, she'll come back. Can you imagine? That's crazy. Okay, let's see what she's going through. Well, here we go. Straight up, first up. So, right at it. Long-term change in events. Right here. Transiting nodes at 2 degrees are absolutely 100% squaring her natal nodes at 2 degrees. So, I guess I shouldn't, but that was such a good line. I guess I shouldn't. Let's circle it. Transiting node at 2 degrees. Damn, Sonny, you are super good at this. Yes, I am, my man. Actually, everyone in my class is really good at this, too. Look at this. She's going through it right now. She has a giant T square going on right now in her chart. The pressure was too much for her. She's going through a life change. She's resigning. She's moving on. Mercury retrograde is right here, right in front of her sun. She's changing her identity. She's going to change it back soon. She's probably going through a flux right now. When Mercury goes direct, she's going to change for good. This is straight up. I don't even think we need to look at anything else. Normally you see a bunch of complementary aspects. This is about as close as it's going to get to a life transformation. This and the Saturn return, it's that simple. And sure enough, she also has Jupiter right here. You know, Jupiter is making a square to her Saturn. Good luck. Jupiter is making transiting Jupiter is making a square to her Saturn. Jupiter is expansive. Saturn is restrictive. She's hooped. You know, normally I would look for, as I did in the other chart, I would look for a Pluto thing. But this Pluto thing doesn't count. I'll show you guys this. Even though Pluto is retrograde and it's returning, to this Saturn, it's not going to get back to 22 degrees. So the Pluto doesn't really count. Although people are looking at it, and they're looking at it quite. I would say, Pisces, I have a feeling that she's guilty. And Pluto is coming in. Pluto's doing the damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's usually Lilith, right? Eternal damnation. But Pluto's given a what the fuck vibe. But that what the fuck vibe is straight jiggy with her Saturn, which is all about dedication and hard work in Taurus. She's a little bit possessive, a little bit controlling. But I think that's what's going on. And so this doesn't really count because it doesn't really come all the way back. But I brought it up because she would have I would imagine there was bullshit that began in her life when Pluto was at 22 degrees, and they were about 22 degrees probably this time last year. This time last year, leading into Christmas, I think Pluto was at 22 degrees. And so I would imagine a lot of her bullshit started around last Christmas, or getting caught or called out. Pluto was cutting a major nasty swath through there. Later on next year, she's done. Pluto's going to make an aspect to her Pluto. She's done. So she's done. I don't think she's coming back. I think people might call her back, or some kind of bullshit's going to happen, but she is absolutely done. She's changing her identity. She doesn't know what she's doing necessarily. She is one secretive mother, and she's one secretive person. All of this BS is behind the sun. She's probably an awesome politician, but a lousy leader. By politician, I mean she works a lot behind the scenes. And that's the deal. She's a real sneaky mofo. But she's a real sneaky mofo that you can't really trust, right? Mars is behind the sun. You can't really trust her. And that's what I think, man. I think, that's for Gladys. I think for Susan, these have been pretty easy readings. This one is just clearly going through this node square. Saturn square is going to happen, but later on, this isn't really going to count. This doesn't really count. It would have counted last year. Jupiter absolutely does count. Jupiter squaring her natal Saturn absolutely does count. It is going to cause problems. Is Chiron going to count? Not really. 10 degrees? Not really. Mars, 13 degrees? Not really. It's not behind the scenes. Venus, obviously not. And that's the deal. If you guys want to take note, her sun is at 0 degrees. So she's going to feel this. She's going through this right now, and she's going to continue to go through all of this BS until all of this is past, and she wakes up at the end of January when the nodes are finally, at 29 degrees Taurus, and she gets to move on. But she's not really out of it. She's not really out of it until the nodes get past 27 degrees Pluto. Because 27, Pluto's going to mess things up. So she'll be out of it when the nodes cross Pluto, and that's going to be next summer. She'll be out of it. But this is clearly, to me, looks like it's time for a change. This is clearly a time for her a change in her life. And if she doesn't do it, she's absolutely hooped. Now, if I was doing an astrological reading on her, I'd say this is one very deceptive person. She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. She's incredibly sneaky. She has a lot of hidden enemies. She gossips behind the scenes. She does everything she does is in secret. And because Pluto is here, and we talked about this earlier on in the show, she doesn't even give a shit, right? You guys asked about what Pluto in the 12th house means. It means she's going to do whatever she wants and not give a shit about it. She's going to be a real secretive mofo, and that's just the action. And that's what's going on in her life right now. And that's what the deal is. She also takes her health for granted. She might end up getting sick. She should make a total insane amount of money. So I don't know what's going on with these people. I sense in this chart, I sense someone making a ton of money, and I think they're going to be sneaky ass mofos as well. That's what I would, if I look at a mini reading of this chart, that's what I see. I should have done a mini reading of this chart and posted it, but it's not. I'm just doing this for Susan. So that's what I see, guys. This is one sneaky ass player, and she's gonna make a lot of money being sneaky. And that's about it. She probably works hard helping. Nah, I don't know about that. She's probably going to get, I would imagine she's been divorced or her husband died. You know, I would say this woman's either been divorced or her husband died or there was cheating in relationships or she just doesn't feel love from her partner. I think that's pretty obvious in this chart. I don't know if that really happened to her, but that's stuff that I'm saying. She should make a ton of money, and of course she should watch her health. And this is just a time in her life where she has a big change coming up for her. So let her go do it and then get on with things. All right, that's Gladys Perkins. That was pretty easy. What's the other guy's name? I think it's time for her to move on. The other guy's name is Dominic Francis. All right, let's look at Dominic Francis's chart. I hope you guys are having fun looking at these charts. They're kind of fun. I'll look at some celebrity stuff tomorrow. So, oh, crap. Oh no, this is what we're going through. Let's see what this guy's going through. I don't know who Dominic Francis is, but I'll tell you what's going on in his life. I think this is one of the guys that they want to win, right? This is the guy that they want. I don't know who this guy is. Dominic Francis Perrottet? Let's check this guy out. Okay. What is that? There's no coming back for her. That would really please me. You know, Pisces, I think there's no coming back for her. I think she's going on. Tell Susan that. When Susan sees this, she'll say there's no, I don't think there's any coming back for her. I really think she's moving on. All right, Dominic is not a sneaky motherfucker at all. This guy's not a sneaky motherfucker, but he's a bit of a perv. Okay, so this guy is not sneaky, but he's a bit of a perv. He's a bit of a backdoor lover. I don't mean backdoor lover like, hey, don't touch me there. I'm saving myself for when I get married. Not that kind of black backdoor lover. You guys are, oh my God. Yes, what? I was saving until I got married. Oh my God. It's a good thing those girls don't watch my show anymore. Okay, Sonny, you motherfucker, I was saving. All right, wait. You're such an asshole, Sonny. All right, everybody, not that any of you guys need to know about Sunnyside lovemaking techniques. I'll make you a video. No, kiss and tell video. All right, stop it. Dominic gets into secret relationships. This guy might get into secret relationships. This guy might get divorced. He might cheat in relationships. He's not the most trustworthy kind of guy in the world. He might secretly be gay. Or maybe he's openly gay. I don't know. But he's definitely got a lot of behind-the-scenes love going on, or secret love interest. This guy is going to have a lot of stuff happening with his money. Like, all of this is here in his money. And to think this guy doesn't care about money just because Pluto's there is not true. This guy is going to make a ridiculous amount of money, and he's going to work really hard for it. Now, having said all of that, his Mercury's retrograde technically in the first house. Actually, this stuff here is technically in his first house, right? So, first house from the sun. Don't judge. Don't judge me just because I'm creative. Don't love me. Don't judge me because I'm Let's move on. Let's move on. Don't judge me when I don't see as good in the dark as you guys would think. Plus, I cover my third eye a lot. All right, here we go. So, this guy's going to come across. So, this is 28 degrees Virgo. So, imagine that the line is going to go here. As such, he's going to make a ton of money. This is another very rich dude. His Mercury is naturally retrograde in the first house, so he probably thinks a lot about himself. He's probably pushy and does whatever he wants to do. His public persona is probably very different than his private life. He's a little bit analytical. He's an analytical guy, and he's obviously a closet sex freak. He has 6 children that we know of. We'll get to the children in a second. I wasn't going to talk about children, but he does have kids. Look, Jupiter is right here. It's retrograde, right? Saturn is retrograde here. Pluto's not retrograde here. Pluto is, what are we going to do? 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. 1, 2, shit, hold on. Virgo, 28, 28, 28, 28. You guys can tell this is whole house I'm using, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with Pluto here, there's a possibility that he's not going to care. He's going to have problems in his home life. Maybe his parents died, or he was divorced, or he was raised at the fire hall, or he was raised with dogs or something. But something happened where his home life. No, that's not true. That's not true. I apologize. That's not true. Let's move. That's not what I'm talking about. Let's move on. This chart doesn't really say a lot about his kids. I don't have his ascendant, and I can't really talk about his kids. I know we have transiting Jupiter here and transiting Saturn here, but I was confusing that with natal Pluto and natal stuff. It's not true. I can't really talk about his kids because I don't really know the time he was born. Although right now I would imagine he's having problems with the kids and problems with creativity, but that's just because this stuff is over here. He might be having problems at home right now. Let's just move on with the stuff that I can tell. So it's going to go here. So he might, I don't know what he looks like, but he might have a scar on his face. He might have some kind of deformity about him. His communication is always off. You know, people don't always know what he's talking about. He might be overly intellectual. Watch out for that. He can be very, very argumentative when he wants to be. You know, he can be very argumentative. And, you know, he's probably a shitty driver. So that's what stuff like that. He might say unusual things. He can be a bit of a blurter when it comes to communication. I know Saturn is very close, makes a tight-ish orb to Mercury. So he probably measures his words. He's probably very cautious on what he says, and he probably sticks up for the other person. But make no mistake, and I don't know what Australian politics are like, but this guy is a hardcore debating guy. This guy is good at debating, and he likes to fight. So you got to watch out for that. But he's a little bit of a closet sex freak. He's a lot bit of a closet sex freak. As far as the transits are concerned, is this a big change coming up for him? No. I don't see off the top of my head any big change coming up for this guy. Later on, like close to election time, he's gonna go through a Saturn thing, but it's not a square. It's gonna be normal for him. Hard work is gonna pay off. He's not going through any kind of node stuff. Oh, but Sonny, the nodes are gonna sit on his Mars. Okay, so he's gonna get sick. He might get a little bit sick in the next couple of months. He might get the Rona, right? He might get the Rona. He might be sick for a couple of months. He'll break out of it in January, though. He might be sick. His vitality might be low. He might have communication problems in the next little while. He might be overwhelmed with stuff that's going to zap his vitality. But I don't really... And then it's going to cross his... it's going to make an aspect to his sun. But that's not the worst thing in the world. He's just going to be hidden away from the sun for a while. So he's going to get sick, and then in February, he's going to hide away a little bit. February, March, he's going to chill out, hide from the world a little bit, and then he's going to come back extra strong. He's just got to watch his words. I think he might disappear a little, or he might be very cautious with what he says in the next little while. And I think that's the deal with this chart. I don't think it's anything crazy. And I don't see any time for a change for this guy, and I don't see anything being forced upon this guy anytime soon. But I do think he's going to get sick. I do think he's going to disappear from the public for a little bit, or he's going to watch what he says. He's going to have a little bit of problems up until March, and then come March, he's all smooth sailing and he's not really going to have to worry about anything. He's just going to have to get on with his life. But you guys can see, I don't really see any major change. Oh, Mercury's going through that. Who gives a fuck? Mercury does fuck. He might have suicidal thoughts. right? This guy, looking at this right here, you know, a combination of these two things, just these two things alone in his chart indicate this guy might have suicidal thoughts in his life, or he gets very jealous of other people. And I would be very surprised if this guy doesn't get taken down on some kind of fucked up sex thing. But that's the deal. Hey, Elle, what's up? Sunscreen, you got it. Have a super, super, super amazing day, Elle. It's great to see. It's great to see you. Anyways, that's the deal. So that's this guy's chart. We did it. So we looked at Australia. So, yeah, it's almost time to get out of here. Unless anyone has any questions, it's time to get out of here. So we looked at Australia. We looked at New South Wales. We looked at that woman's chart. It's time for her to go. It's time for her to go. She knows it. It's time for her to go. She's got to go. It looks like Australia is going through a big deal. It looks like New South Wales going through a bit of a big deal. That woman is definitely time to go. And the new guy, it doesn't say anything major is happening to him. He's going to go through a little thing in the next couple of months. But after that, you know, we'll have to see what's up. But I think the woman's pretty much gone. It's time for her to move on to the next phase of her life. And that's the deal with all of that stuff. Any questions, guys? Anything? Because if not, I'm going to go read more of that book that that Pluto book that Daniela asked me to read. It's the Sunny Side. It's Daniela. She asked me to read a book. I'm going to read it. What the fuck? Everybody, if any one of the Sunny Siders did that, I'd read it. Except Jisha. She's going to make me read like some kind of astrology Bible thing. I'd be like, whoa. I don't know. Oh my God. I'd need like 3 lifetimes to do that, to read one of those. Anyways, the Sunny Siders read this stuff. Actually, I gave stuff to Jish that I haven't given to everyone else. I think I might give that to you guys, to the class coming up. But Mercury's retrograde. I don't want to make it too difficult. And that's the deal. Any questions, guys? I think we cleared out all the readings, which is pretty good. I'm waiting for... I think we cleared it out. I think everything is good. And now it looks like it's gonna rain, so I'm clearly not going to the vortex today. Plus, I think the vortex needs a little time to clear itself out after I went there with Bear. And I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. That, yes. No, I'm going to stop that. That's so silly. I'm going to talk stupidness to you guys. Anyways, that's the action, guys. Hope everyone has a super amazing day. And if anyone wants a private reading, just hit the PayPal link and we'll set it up. I'm still doing private readings. That's what I'm scheduling today. And that's the deal. Hey, who's moving around over there? It's you? I didn't even realize you were there. Oh my God. Hey, Sana, I have a joke for you, but it's a dirty joke. But it's not like adult dirty. It's more like nasty joke. But like, so, here's how it goes. I took Bear on that monster hike around that vortex thing. Do you know the saying, the question, does a bear go poop in the woods? You've never heard of that? Well, I'll tell you something. The answer is absolutely yes, but you have to watch for snakes. Oh my God, it's so funny. Oh, I can't wait till he hears that. Is he here? Bear's here, right? All right, let me get out of here. Okay, guys, I hope everyone has a super amazing day. We did it. We went through all of the stuff. We caught up. I'm going to check on my readings, and tomorrow we'll be back with the Hump Day horoscopes. We're going to do a different later October. October knows all about kids. So, although I don't think Christober was as bad as Bear. Bear's okay. He's really not that bad. And that's the deal. So tomorrow we're going to have, please donate to the channel. Please, please, please donate to the channel. And tomorrow we're going to, please keep donating to my GoFundMe. I'm still short for all the expense, and I have to pay everything next week. Next week's the week, as far as I know, next week's the week I have to pay. So that's the deal. And just be cool, everyone. Oh, tomorrow we'll do the thing. We're going to split it up. We'll try a different thing. I'm only here for another week, so we'll have fun doing the hump day horoscopes tomorrow. I'm going to write them this afternoon, and we'll get Alexis to read it and all that kind of stuff. We'll take our time. And that's the deal, guys. I hope everyone has a super amazing day. Sending love absolutely all the way around the world. And that's the action. From TheSunnySide.net, I'm Sonny, wishing everyone the best of a super beautiful day. And I'll see you guys soon.